The Tunisian Purl Stitch. It's made in a very similar way to the other stitches by working a forward pass and a return pass, and the forward pass defines the stitch. So the way it's worked, you're creating what look like pearl bumps, like the knitted pearl bumps, on the right side of the fabric. I've already worked a foundation row on this little sample, so I'm now ready to start demonstrating how to work Tunisian Purl Stitch. It can be a little bit more fiddly than knit stitch or simple stitch. We start, as with a lot of Tunisian work, with the first stitch is already on the hook, so we ignore the first vertical bar. And then we have to bring the yarn to the front of the fabric. So I'm now going to go into the vertical bar, but the yarn is underneath, and then use my thumb of my left hand to hold this loop down while I pull a loop through. So the yarn has to be in front of the hook. The hook goes through the vertical bar, and then if you use a thumb to hold the thread in place, it is easier to work and pull a loop through. Sorry, I've just split that vertical bar. There we go. The hook has to go behind the yarn as you're putting it through the vertical bar. So the yarn stays underneath. And then when we get to the end here, the last stitch is worked as a normal chain stitch at the end here. So I find my chain and go through. So that's just the first half. I need to get to the other side, the other leg, so that's the two sides of the chain. Pull the yarn through, and then I complete the return pass in the standard way, which is yarn round hook and pull through one, and then round hook and pull through two, back to the other end. I'll just bring some more yarn over. So we've completed one row of Tunisian Purl Stitch. So again, to start, we have to take the hook behind the yarn and then through the vertical bar, and use your thumb to hold the yarn down. If you need to pull on the crochet to see where your next stitch is, that's fine. So I go through the vertical bar, oops, pull through, under and round the hook, vertical to the vertical bar, under and round the hook, and when I get to the end of the row I need to find my chain at the end here. So go through the chain and pull through, and then standard return pass. One more row, so again hook has to come behind the working yarn and then through the vertical bar, round and pull the loop through. The Tunisian Purl Stitch generally sits flatter than many of the other Tunisian stitches, so it's quite a useful stitch to learn because you can use it to help keep the edges of your Tunisian crochet flat. So I've got one more vertical bar here, and then we do the last chain as normal. So through the last chain and then the first return pass as a standard return pass. So you can see that it's a nice flat piece, and you've got these clear purl bumps created by the way that you're working the row. That's Tunisian Purl Stitch.